Everything comes down to this. Oakfield Golf Club has tested every part of the game, from patience to precision, from confidence to composure. Now it's time to leave it all out there. One final round, one last chance to make a statement and see just how far we can climb.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this recap of round 3 from the CPGA Assistance Championship from the Oakfield Golf Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So we are sitting at 1 over par after the first 2 rounds. We're not really in contention at this point. We had a pretty slow start on day 1, some very poor putting. Other than that, we hit the ball quite well, but obviously if you're not putting well, it's going to be awfully difficult to score, and our pace putting was just really not there. I think we had 3 putts during the day, and a lot of times I made like 6 or 8 footers to avoid other 3 putts. In round 2, the putting was much better. Unfortunately, the ball striking just didn't really match up. Wasn't very good off the tee, and though I did hit a lot of greens, my proximity to the hole really wasn't very good. That being said, we were 3 under par for the day, going on to 18, and unfortunately just made a gross double bogey on the 18th hole to finish out the round and put us in the position that we were at today. So the Oakfield Golf Club, par 72, 6,770 yards. The course is challenging, but it is gettable. And you just got to play the ball the right spots, and you got to make some putts. So hoping that we can kind of match it all up here in the final round and make a big climb up the leaderboard.
Next on the tee, from Golf Griffin to Source, James Colin Davis.
All right, so first hole, par 5, 535 yards, dog legs around to the left. Now, my miss this year, I've been struggling with the driver. It has not been great. I have been missing it to the left. So I'm basically just aiming at the bunkers that are straight out ahead of us. And if I hit it straight, fine, play it as a 3-shot hole. If I hit my miss to the left, it kind of goes around the corner, shortens up the hole, will allow us to attack it more in 2. But essentially just looking to put a good swing on this to start the day and kind of get some confidence going. And like that one didn't turn over. It was a pretty good strike. It was a little bit high on the face, but really not bad. So this left us 269 yards left in. I'm laying up with a 9-iron. It was water down the left and the ball a little bit above my feet, so I knew that that was going to turn over a little bit. You know, just a layup shot, nothing crazy. It was a good strike. Really liked the swing I put on it. So left side of the fairway, 131 yards left. Pins kind of like front left side of the green. This is a gap wedge. See, it's a bit of a rainy day today in Nova Scotia. It's a little bit cooler. That didn't quite carry. It kind of like skipped up onto the green and then spun off. So not really how we were hoping to start the day. We have not played this first hole well at all. It's a pretty simple chip here from the front of the green. This is my lob wedge. Just want to like bump it onto the green, let it release up. You're going to see that take a huge skip forward on the first bounce. The greens are a little wet. The ball will tend to skip. I just didn't predict it skipping that much, and that's something that I've struggled with this week, is just adjusting to the conditions. The greens have been really firm at times. Some have been a little bit softer, and I just haven't quite figured it out. So this putt here for our par, about 5 feet downhill, should break a little to the right, and it broke a little bit more to the right than I'd expected, and I mean that wasn't really the most committed looking putting stroke, I have to say. So that's an opening bogey. That's gets us to 2 over on the tournament very early, and that is not the direction we're hoping to move in. So second hole, 384 yard par 4. This one dog legs to the right. The reason I'm hitting 3-wood is that if you go straight through the fairway with driver, there's a body of water out there which can come into play. 3-wood's worked out well for us this week. I've been hitting it good. We've had wedges in every day from the fairway. This one I did just pull a little bit down the left-hand side. All in all, it's really not a bad miss, but it is going to be in the rough, and because it went left, it's a little further away. So 143 yards in here, pins kind of middle of the green. This is a little 9-iron that, I mean, that is a mile left of target from 140 yards away. That's a very poor golf shot right there. It's not been a great start so far today. As you can see, we're well below the green surface, chipping back up onto the green, and then this is going to take a hard turn to the right towards the front. I wanted to leave myself an uphill putt, but this just went way further down the slope than I had anticipated, and leaves us with a pretty long par putt here to avoid going 2 over through 2 on the day. It's a pretty straight uphill putt though. That was a better stroke. That was a good roll. Just missed it a little bit on the high side. It's a tiny little overread. That's a bogey start. And we did a similar thing on day 1. We opened with 3 bogeys. So I don't know what's going on, but just have not been able to get off to good starts this week. 3rd hole, par 3. We're 2 over on this hole for the week. We have not played it well. 181 yards today. This is a 7-iron, and I'm just looking to put a good swing on this and like build some confidence. And I just get super stuck. Club way behind me. Lose it way out to the right. Terrible contact. This is, I was in a pretty dark place mentally at this point. So the only good thing here is that we're on a bit of an upslope. That's going to help us pop it up a little bit, but this is not a great position. Throw that up in the air, expecting this to come down a little to the left, which it did. Now, all in all, from where I was, that's a pretty good shot. I obviously would have preferred to have put it to about 3 feet, but that was tough to begin with. So we have this putt here, downhill, breaking left to right to save par. Another good roll. And another miss on the high side. So we're not hitting it well, and we're not converting putts. And when that's happening, you're gonna make a bunch of bogeys, and that's exactly what we have done to start this 3rd round. So 3 over par through 3 puts us 4 over par for the championship, and clearly dropping down the leaderboard. We need to turn this around now. So 4th hole, dogleg left par 4, 335 yards. Mentioned this in the other videos. There's a line over the trees, but I'm not consistent enough with my driver yet to take it. So we've played this hole really well, just hitting 4-iron off the tee. It's gonna give us like, sand wedge into the green kind of thing. We're 1 under par on this hole for the week with a missed birdie putt. So we're just sticking to the game plan. 101 yards in here. This is a sand wedge, pinned a little bit at the front left. It's like that 3/4 sand wedge, nice controlled one. Really nice hit, just left of the flag, but really good for distance control. Finally, back-to-back good swings. Now we want to try to build off of that momentum. It's been a rough start, but 2 good swings in a row there. Got me feeling a little bit better. Just want to go ahead and convert on this birdie putt. Now this was a very quick downhill putt, which I expected to turn a little bit towards the front of the green, so it should break a little bit to my right. See, I barely breathe on that. And it just stayed dead straight. So, unfortunate miss there, but not gonna let, the missed birdie putt kind of get in the way of the momentum that I'm trying to build here. That's a solid par. It stops the bleeding. But we have got some work to do. 5th hole, par 3. Today playing 197 yards. The pin's kind of like middle left. This is my, what did I hit here? I hit 6-iron here. Again, looking for a good swing. And that was a pretty good swing. It's a little out to the right. I definitely felt like my timing was a little bit better there. But hey, that's pretty good. From nearly 200 yards out, not an easy par 3. Though we've played this hole reasonably well throughout the week, we are even par on this hole. So this uphill birdie putt here, it's an outside chance, but it is a chance. Again, nice roll on that again there. And had the line on that one, just left it a little bit short. I mean, it's nice to be able to go ahead and tap in, but like we got to make some birdies here if we want to climb up this leaderboard. So kind of frustrated that I left that one short in the heart. So first par 5 of the day, 6th hole, 500 yards, pretty straight away. There's no room behind the tee box for the cameraman to stand, so we end up with a bit of a different view here and no shot tracer. Just looking to put a good swing on this. We had a decent drive on one. We haven't hit a driver since. And that was a really good drive. Kind of wish we had a shot tracer on that one. Just nice little fade. Started it down the middle, just faded to the right center of the fairway. You know, another good swing. That's 4 good swings in a row. So maybe we're kind of onto something here, but the slow start has definitely hurt us. So 214 yards in here. The pin is way on the right side of the screen, up on a little tier. So this is a 4-iron, and like putting it up on that shelf with the firm greens coming in from this far is not really too realistic. So I just wanted to kind of leave this middle of the green. It's going to give us a tough 2-putt, but I figured it's going to be easier than getting up from the trap or right at the green. And here you can see, I mean, like the camera does not do that mound justice. Like this is a huge separation from one tier to the other, but tricky pace putt here. Pretty good for line, just missed it on the high side, and pretty good for pace, put it about 4 feet past. You know what, obviously the last thing I wanted to do was leave it short of the top of the tier. So this here for birdie, get one back. That's a solid 2-putt right there. That's like, let's go, come on. Like let's try and build something here. Back to 3 under for the tournament. On to the 7th hole, 419 yard par 4. You can see very straight away, but very narrow. Everything kicks towards the left when it lands in the fairway. So want to start this ideally kind of up the right center or just right side of the fairway here. And that starts up the left and turns on me, and that's not great for this hole. That's going to leave us in a pretty challenging spot here. I'm on a downslope. I've got 166 yards left. I've got to go up over trees. Like I can't even look at the flag here. That was just a hard 9-iron, just trying to get it on the left side of the green so I could give myself 2 putts for my par. And that from there was really well done, I have to say. Now it leaves us a really long birdie putt here, probably about 65 feet here going back across the green. But considering where we were off the tee, I will absolutely take that. And I know that when I hit this, I felt like I left this way short, and it just kept chugging along. Stops about 1.5 feet from the hole, so from 65 feet, we're absolutely gonna take that.
Room to get to that.
Like it was so close, I didn't have to. I just had to make sure I wasn't standing in anybody's line, but I could just walk up and just tap this in. And if you told me where I was after the tee shot that I was gonna have a tap in for par, I would have been very, very happy. So, tough start, but we've been turning it around a little bit. It hasn't been great, but there have been some better swings. We have made a birdie, we've missed a couple of opportunities, but I feel like we're moving in the right direction. 8th hole, 400 yard par 4. Again, very straight, pretty narrow. Another driver here, just looking to put a good one out there, give myself a wedge in so we can attack this hole. Another really good swing there. The driver this week has been a lot better than it's been most of the year, and that has been a lot of fun. 96 yards left in here, a little bit uphill. This is a lob wedge. And like nice feeling strike there. It just didn't quite look like it got all the way back to pin high. Now I can't see from where we are in the fairway. Once you get up there, sure enough, it was on a great line, but just a little bit short. So putting for birdie here, got about 15 feet up the hill. Another good roll, and just kind of died off to the right a little bit. Just a bit of a misread. I definitely saw it turning a little bit, but not that much. tap in for our par. That keeps us at 2 over par for the day and 3 over for the tournament. So on to 9, they had the tees back where they normally would be. They'd move them up in round 2. 382 yards here. Now I have not driven the ball well on this hole so far this week. We're looking for a good one here. A good one here just makes it a very scoreable hole. Just want to take this down the right side over the bunker. And there we go, down the right side. Enough spin on it that's going to stay in the air, carry the bunker, unlike in round 1. That's going to kick a little bit left back. It did kick a little left, but it did stay in the rough. 66 yards left in here, pin a little bit at the front. That was a lob wedge, and it just it came out so far left. And I'm not sure if it was the lie or the wet grass, but I mean, that comes out left, it lands on the green, it kicks left, it ends up in the fringe. It's just a pretty terrible wedge shot from 66 yards, if I'm being honest. So from the left fringe, going back across the green, gonna break a little bit from my left to right, and just don't quite get it to the hole, unfortunately. So, finally hit a good drive on this hole and just absolutely failed to take advantage of it. Would have been better if the drive had been in the fairway, but still 66 yards just in the rough. You really shouldn't be making the hole this hard, and I just made that a lot harder than it needed to be. We're in for our par onto the back 9. So 10th hole, 365 yard, par 4. This one gets more narrow the further down you go. It doglegs a bit to the left, so if you're hitting 3-wood or hybrid, if you miss them a little bit left or right, it's hard to keep it in play. So 4-iron for me is the play. I've hit it great all week. I've had wedges in all week, so we're just going to do the same thing. Good 4-iron there, just down the left center. Going to leave me 120 yards in here to a back right flag. This was a little gap wedge here, just off the downslope. And this did come out a little to the right, so I'm just hoping it's going to hang on. And it does, just hangs on to the right side of the green, spins a little bit to the left. That's actually well placed. That's going to give us, about another 15-footer here. Starts to rain, unfortunately. We knew that was coming. Going uphill, should have a little bit of left to right in it. It's another good roll, and just one that I expected was going to turn a little bit at the top, and it just never did. So, bit of a missed opportunity there. We'll tap in for our par though, and keep going. So on to the par 4 11th, 433 yards. It's very straight away, but it's an intimidating tee shot to me, especially considering I haven't been very good with the driver this year. You've got the driving range to the left, you've got hazard down the right, and it just doesn't suit my eye. So just looking to hit a bit of a lower bullet here, and I did. Now it did draw me a little bit. I wasn't trying to draw it, I'll be very honest, but that's not going to get me in any trouble whatsoever. Left side of the fairway, 162 yards in, pinned kind of back right of the green. This was a little kind of knockdown 8-iron. Took off again just a little right, but see, just catches the right side of the green. It's up on the top tier. Again, that's from that distance, we've given ourselves a reasonable look at birdie. 26 feet here going back up the hill. Another really good roll there. And that's going to miss just on the left side again. So a couple of close calls on the last 2 holes, but we need some putts to start falling, and we need the proximity to be a little bit better than it has been. But another good par there on 11. The 12th hole is the 507-yard par 5. Dog legs to the left. There's water down the left all the way up past the green. So all week I've been aiming just to the right of the bunkers that you see down the left there, and just trying to hit a little bit of a fade because I don't want to go down that left side at all. And I've driven it pretty good on this hole. And this was a good hit, though it did start, you can see there's not a lot of fade on it, but it did start a little bit right of my line. That unfortunately did end up going through the fairway and into the rough, the other side of the cart path, but I was standing on the cart path where the ball was, so I go ahead and drop twice. Both times it moves closer to the hole so then I can place it. So we now know that we have a pretty good lie. Where was the pin here? Pin was kind of middle right. So I'm coming in here with a 5-iron from 204 yards. Just as I had all week, I'm favoring the right side because I don't want to like aim at the flag, and if I miss it left, it's for sure going in the water. Now, this one ended up being a bit of a push, very much on the safe side, but that's fine. We're basically pin high. We have a chip here, unfortunately in the rough, not in the fairway. See a lot of slope at the front of the screen here from this angle. So that was sand wedge that I'm landing short, kind of like skipping it up the hill. And really that was all about pace, and that did quite well. If I'd hit it just a little bit harder, it would have trickled down that hill a little bit more, shortened our putt. But regardless, we got 5 feet here for birdie, a little bit downhill. It's going to be a bit of a quick putt. All right, we got one to fall. That gets us back to 2 over. So 3 over after 3, and we're 2 under par on the day since then. The 13th hole today, 159 yards, pin at the front left, just 4 paces onto the green and 6 off the left. I hit 9-iron here today. It was just a little bit downwind. Really good number for the 9-iron here. That was a nice looking swing there, good strike all over it, just right at it. And just comes up a little bit short, stays on the front fringe, but all things considered, it's a good swing and fairly good proximity. Giving ourselves another 15-footer here. It's going uphill, not much break in it. Like, hit a good putt, but you can see that as soon as that took off, it hit something and bounced a little bit, and that kind of killed the pace. Now I'm not sure it would have gone in if it had had more pace. Might not, still not have gotten there, but it would have been a lot closer. That's another missed opportunity there. 14th hole, 405-yard par 4. This one straight away, and then it doglegs a little bit to the left and goes downhill, and the fairway slopes heavily from right to left. So if you want to hold the fairway, you have to start this down the right-hand side. We've driven it well on this hole all week. That's another good hit. Now, it's a little further right than I've been hitting it, but that shouldn't be a problem. Better right here than left. What I didn't realize was that it was actually going to hit the cart path and get way down there. So we had 52 yards in and just like no shot. This green pretty firm. Had to land that short and hope that it would skip up. Unfortunately, like it did, but on the second bounce, it just died. So it was a little frustrating. I felt like I'd hit a pretty good pitch shot there. Anyways, got another putt here, uphill for birdie. Haven't made much today. We actually make a putt. And just like that, after the incredibly slow start, we are back to even par on the day. It's been an unnecessary trend this week, unfortunately. So feeling pretty good that I've managed to fight back and get it back to even on the day. We're 1 over on the tournament. On to the par 3 15th today, playing 175 yards. Now it was quite windy at the time, wind kind of coming a little bit into, but more off the right. This was 7-iron here. It just took a little bit off of it. That was a really good hit. It was on a great line and just came nowhere close to covering that front bunker. So there's way more wind there than I had anticipated. And unfortunately, my ball plugged in the bunker. So we're back to even, but we've got some adversity here. Luckily, I do have some green to work with, but mainly, especially with this lie, just get the ball out, give yourself a putt. Took a big rip at that. You can see the ball still barely came out, but it's out, it's on the green. We're gonna have an uphill putt, about 15 feet here, to save our par and stay at even par on the day.
Yes.
Another really good roll there. So I feel like we've been rolling the ball quite well today. Our pace has been pretty good.
Good save.
It's nice to see a couple of putts go in. So on 16 today, that actually moved the tee box up. So it was downwind, a little off the right, playing 332. Now, I've not driven the ball well in this hole. We've been left on both days, hitting 3-wood and hybrid, but today we're hitting driver, trying to get up by the green, and I'm just giving it full rip here. And again, like the 2 other days on this hole, it goes left, but that's not going to be too bad given that the tee box was up. We're going to be over by the tee for the par 5 17th. 56 yards left in here, pretty good angle, got lob wedge out, nice strike there, right on line, landed a little short, let it just kind of release up the green towards that back left pin. That gives us a really good look at birdie here. 7 feet, again going uphill, should have just a little bit of left to right on it. And just lips out on the high side. And I remember being so heartbroken about not making that putt in the moment. That was an unfortunate miss. We've not had a lot of short birdie looks this week. And to miss that one just really hurt. All right, so on to the par 5 17th. Got 2 holes left, trying to finish strong here. Wind was heavy off the left here. So I'm trying to start this a little bit more down the left than I had in the second round and let the wind just kind of push it back into the fairway down. A like really good hit on the line I was trying to start it on and just stayed dead straight. Did not move an inch. So good shot, but not getting rewarded for it. We still got 206 yards in, but I'm in this like long, thick stuff. I can only get a gap wedge on this. And again, that's pretty full rip. That was not a very good lie, and just trying to take it up, get it past those trees, hoping it would kick back into the fairway. Unfortunately, it didn't. It did stay in the rough, but we're gonna have 75 yards left in here. Now, firm green, out of the rough. I knew it was gonna be hard to stop this. Lob wedge, it's going right at it, lands just short. Now, I can't tell where it finished or how close it came to the hole, but if we look over to the left, you can see pretty nice reaction from some of the guys on the 15th hole, so that must have taken a peek as it went by. 12 feet here, down the hill, turning from right to left. This would be a big birdie here. And unfortunately, it just stays up on the high side. So it's been a frustrating finish here, not converting the birdies on 16 and 17. But we now have the opportunity to conquer a hole that has just killed us this week. I have yet to hit this fairway. We bogeyed it in round 1. We double bogeyed it in round 2. This hole's just been a disaster for me. So, looking to start this one off with a good drive. We've missed left both days, one of the bunker, one left of it. And we finally split the fairway on 18 at Oakfield. That felt really good. And I'm thinking, okay, great. You know, like I got 129 yards in, a little uphill, easy gap wedge here. Let's just like put it on the green, give ourselves a birdie putt. But no, I have to hit a pull draw from the fairway. And miss the green to the left and a little long, actually. So, long left to the green. We've got a tricky shot here. This is downhill. I don't have a great lie, but I'm just trying to land this on the fringe, let it release, which it did. It's a little bit quicker than I'd anticipated. We've given ourselves a look at par, but I still have to convert this 5-footer to make that happen.
Yes.
It felt really good to par 18. I'm not gonna lie. That hole had been really challenging for us this week. So that's a wrap. Even par on the day, 1 over par for the tournament. Just an absolute, just a weird week. I'm not really sure how to describe it. It was just a very, very strange week here at the Oakfield Golf Club. There was a lot of good, but then there was also like just a lot of sloppiness. And there's been a little bit too much of that recently, and I'm not sure why that's happening, but I really want to figure that out. So my 1 over par finish for the 3 days put me in a tie for 19th. So, you know, it's a top 20 in a national championship, which isn't nothing. But I'm proud of a lot of what I did over the last 3 days. But there's a lot that I'm really not proud of. You know, driver overall, I know in round 2 we didn't drive it great, but overall driver was some of the best it's been all year, which was a lot of fun. Just nice to be able to get off the tee. Iron play was a little bit hit or miss. You know, like we did hit a bunch of greens. The proximity just wasn't good enough throughout the 3 days. I putted quite well in rounds 2 and 3. Didn't make as many putts as I would like, but the proximity was such that they're just not like the most makeable putts. And the putting in round 1 was unfortunately pretty atrocious. We were lucky to finish that round at 2 over the way I was putting. Now, if you look at how I opened my rounds at Oakfield and closed them, holes 1, 2, and 3 combined for the 3 days, I played them at 7 over par. 18, I went bogey, double bogey, par. So I played those at 3 over par. Or sorry, I played 18 at 3 over par. So the first 3 holes and 18 combined, I played them at 10 over par for the 3 days. Which means I played the rest of the course at 9 under, which is good. But, you know, the slow starts, just the silly bogeys opening up the round just set you behind the 8 ball right away. And it's just an uphill battle from there. And then 2 of the days not being able to close out the round strong. These are just hard things to overcome in a stroke play event, which, you know, most professional events are going to be stroke play. Every shot matters, and you just can't afford to be making those kinds of mistakes. Like to expect to out birdie those mistakes is just ridiculous. Now, this event ended up finishing in a playoff. Johan Benson and Josh Landine both finished tied at 9 under par for the 3 days. Josh actually chipped in for birdie on the 18th hole to force that playoff. It was a pretty wicked moment. Josh would go on to win on the second playoff hole, I believe it was. Johan got a bit of a bad break off the tee, couldn't hold the green with a second shot, failed to get up and down. Josh 2-putted from about 12 feet for par and sealed the victory. So congrats to Josh. Thanks a lot to the PGA of Canada for organizing such a fantastic event. Want to send a big thank you out to the team and the members at the Oakfield Golf Club. We're incredibly well received. It's a beautiful golf course. The members were very gracious in hosting us, and a lot of them stuck out, where they were out there as volunteers doing scoring and such. You can tell they were all very proud of their golf course, as they should be. I thoroughly enjoyed the experience there. Guys, that's going to be a wrap for this video. If you're new to the channel or you've been around for a little while and you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. Free for you. Does a great deal of help for the channel. Also, please, if you wouldn't mind, hit like and leave us a comment down below. Any and all criticism is very much appreciated. Any interactions you do with the video help push this into the YouTube algorithm, thus helping the channel continue to grow. There's also a new hype feature, so if you feel strongly enough about the channel or this video, you want to throw some hype points at it, please be my guest. That's a wrap for this one. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, I'll be back again next week with another video. Cheers, guys.